Hi guys, I'm Benoit Gauthier, the winemaker at Noble Ridge Winery. Welcome to the first Winemaker Wednesday of the year. So today we're going to be talking about barrel topping, a little bit of wine aging, and I'm going to bring you behind the scene a little bit to do some very fun experiments. So we're going to test the sulfur level in the wine. So every about 3 months, I'm going to be testing the sulfur level in the wine to make sure that the wine doesn't oxidize and it doesn't spoil with bacterial spoilage. And at the same time, I'm going to top it up to keep it full because with time, the barrel is going to breathe and you're going to lose some wine. So it's important to keep it topped up so that to minimize oxidation and spoilage. So today, I'm going to test this wine here. It's a Merlot from Block 4 from beside the wine shop over there. It's a brand new barrel, Dargaud and Jekyll barrel, very good barrel. So I'm going to just take a little sample here. I got enough wine to do mine. So yeah, I'm not gonna actually test all the barrels. Usually I test by lot, so I test maybe every 3 or 4 barrels in every lot because the wine has a tendency to react the same with oxygen per lot. So the Merlot on the south side is gonna react kind of the same, Merlot on the north side kind of the same, but between lots it's a bit different. So I need to analyze every section, and usually I do 2 or 3 analyses per lot to make sure that my results are consistent and the result I get is precise. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to put 20 milliliter of wine into flask here. So I'm going to use a volumetric pipette here. This is a very precise tool to measure exactly 20 ml. So I'm going to fill up the wine up to the line here. Right here. So the reason why it's important to check your sulfur level is that if you don't have any sulfur in the wine's going to react with oxygen and turn to vinegar. So it's important to have a certain level of free sulfur in your wine that's going to prevent oxidation and spoilage, but you don't want to put too much sulfur because nobody wants to drink sulfur really. So it's important to know exactly how it is and to keep it to a minimum. So every wine's going to require a different level of sulfur, but usually I keep it for the red wines between 30 and 40 ppm of free sulfur. So now that I have my wine here, I'm gonna add some components. So I got some peroxide here. Got my indicator, green. So before I start this, so I'm going to explain a little bit what's going to be happening here. So I got my wine. So in my wine there's free sulfur and binded sulfur. So the sulfur that I add in the wine, some of it's going to free swimming in the wine to protect it, and some of it's going to combine with other molecules. And that sulfur is not going to be active in protecting your wine. It's going to be binded and it's just going to be there as total sulfur. So what I want to do to test my sulfur, I want to see how much free sulfur is there that is protecting my wine, because I need to add it so that there's enough free sulfur that's going to be useful to protect the wine. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to add some phosphoric acid to the wine, and by adding the phosphoric acid, which is a pretty strong acid, it's going to make the sulfur go in gaseous form. So instead of being in the liquid, it's going to be gas, and with that, I'm going to push it up to my peroxide here, and it's going to transform into sulfuric acid. And after that, when I collected all the free sulfur in the this vial here into sulfuric acid. I'm going to titrate it with sodium hydroxide and then be able to calculate how much free sulfur I had in my wine. So it's actually a pretty cool experiment, especially for kids, because it changes color and it's very fun. So let's get going. This in here, and then I need just to plug this in. So right now I'm bubbling air, so I'm pushing air, just a little aquarium pump. So I'm pushing air so that all the sulfur that is in a gas form right now is pushed into this tube and is going right in here. So you could see this solution here change from green to purple. The reason of that is the indicator here is just a molecule component that changes color depending on its pH. So at the beginning, the pH here is about, it's pretty neutral, so it's green. But as the pH of that molecule goes into the more acid spectrum, it's going to change color to purple. So right now it changed purple because the sulfur gas went in there, reacted with the peroxide, and transformed into sulfuric acid, which is pretty acid. So usually this experiment runs for about exactly 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, all the free sulfur would be concentrated in that solution here. Then I'm going to take this and titrate it. So I'm not going to run actually the full experiment because I don't want to wait 10 minutes. So I'm going to pretend that it's done and then show you what I do next. So stop here. So right now the solution is sulfuric acid. So I'm going to bring it back to this, which is graduated pipette. So this here is sodium hydroxide, so it's an alkaline or basic solution. So this is just a basic titration that I do. So I bring back this here and then look back at the bottom here, you're going to see it's going to change from purple to green. But I need to be really precise in the amount that I use to change color, because when the change color happens, that's the exact amount of sodium hydroxide that is needed to neutralize the solution. And with that, with the amount that I use, I'm going to be able to calculate exactly how much sulfur there was in the wine. So keep an eye on the bottom one. Going back to green. One more. Here we go. So right now, going back to green. So after that, I look at the measurements here. So I got 0.4 milliliters. So usually, if I run it for a full 10 minutes, I might get a little bit more. So I might get about 0.81 or a little bit more. So with that, I do a small calculation. Calculate that I have here about 5 to 10 ppm. It's not a lot because I didn't run it long enough. But then once I get my 10 ppm, then I adjust so I can add usually about 30 ppm. So I bring ppm at about 40 in the barrel, and then I'm ready to do the topping. So people usually ask me, what do you use to top your barrels? So what I use is, at the end of the fermentation, when I do my my barrel fill up at the end of harvest, it never ends up that my barrels are totally full, all of them. I always end up with a little bit extra wine that is, half a barrel, a quarter of a barrel, 3/4 of a barrel. And I don't want to put it in a barrel because with the headspace, it's going to totally oxidize. So what I do, I put the wine into one of the small tanks you can see upstairs. It's a 250 liter tank, so I keep that one separate. So I got some Chardonnay, I got some Pinot Noir, I got some Merlot, some Cab. So I keep all the different varietals separate, and then I use that to do the barrel topping. So right now, that's what I'm going to do. So since my winery here, it's kind of a pretty neat winery. It's a barn that was transformed, but I got 3 levels, so I can really use gravity to my advantage. So what I do is just put that tank on top on the 2nd level and use gravity to just push the wine into the barrel. So no pump involved, no nothing. Very gentle. Just from here. And with my topping gun here, I'm just gonna come. Up. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this week. So if you guys have any questions, please email your questions at experience@noblerich.com, and I will answer them next week. Until then, please stay home, stay safe, save lives. See you next week.